Hi, Assalamualaikum and have a very good day everyone. Today I will talk about how to bring Malaysian films to the global stage. Oh, before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Aina Nabila binti Ibrahim from HM 262 Food Service Management. Let me begin by asking you this. Have you ever watched a Malaysian film and thought to yourself, wow, this is amazing? Why is not this film getting the global recognition it deserves? Whether it's a heartfelt family drama, a supernatural horror film, or a historical epic, Malaysian cinema has so much potential. Yet many of them remain hidden from the global spotlight. Take for example Thailand's Bad Genius or South Korea Parasite. These films broke cultural boundaries and become global hits, not because they try to be westerns, but because they stay true to their identity while telling stories the world could relate to. So, what's holding us back? In this speech, I will describe two key elements that can help Malaysian films reach international audience. First, by embracing cultural rich storytelling, and second, building international collaboration. Just stay a minute with me and explore how this can be achieved. First, we go to culturally rich storytelling. This is the foundation. Before we think globally, we must stay true to our roots. Let's take a look in our first slide. Originality and cultural depth help our films stand out. Malaysia is a country rich in heritage, from folklore, traditional customs, and performing arts to food and attire. These cultural elements give our story a unique identity. When we embrace this in our films, we create something original and unforgettable, something that cannot be replicated elsewhere. For example, Puteri Gunung Ledang is more than just an adaptation of a classic legend. It introduced viewers to Malay royal history, traditional costume, a poetic classical language. It stands out because it feels like a window into worlds that are rarely seen, and that's what caught the attention of international critics. It even became Malaysia's first submission to the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. In today's global film market, originality is a strength, not a limitation. Audiences are no longer just looking for Hollywood-style blockbuster, they are looking for something fresh, real, and culturally enriching. Next, local stories with universal themes create emotional connection. Even though our setting and customs may be uniquely Malaysian, the core values in our stories like love, friendship, resilience, and unity are universal. For example, Ola Bola is not just a sports film. At its heart, it's a story about teamwork, racial harmony, and believing in a shared dream, all of which resonate globally. A viewer in Brazil, Japan, and Nigeria may not understand all the cultural nuances, but they will understand the emotional journey. In fact, this combination, a local setting with a universal message, is what makes a film both authentic and accessible to international audience. Other than that, cultural references may not be easily understood. Local jokes, slangs, traditions, or symbolic elements often carry meanings that are deeply embedded in a specific culture. Without proper context or explanation, this may confuse the international viewers. While subtitles can translate words, they often fail to convey cultural nuances, tone, or layer meanings behind expression and humor. For example, Hantu Kak Limah features comedy root in Malaysian village life. Kelantanese and Perak dialects can make the audience less understanding of the storyline being conveyed. International audience also unfamiliar with the cultural backdrop may find it difficult to understand the humor, which relies on shared social knowledge. As a result, what is hilarious to Malaysians might appear random or nonsensical to others. This challenge does not mean such elements should be removed, but it highlights the importance of balancing authenticity with clarity. Lastly, over-adapting for global appeal weakens authenticity. In an effort to appeal to global audience, some filmmakers might be tempted to neutralize cultural aspects, for instance, by changing characters' name, avoiding traditional attire, switching to English dialogues, or removing scenes tied to local customs. While this may make the film more accessible, it risks stripping away what makes the story uniquely Malaysian. Take The Journey as an example. If the film were to remove its Chinese New Year sense, traditional tea ceremony, or a local landscape just to seem more universal, it would lose the cultural soul that give the story depth and emotional weight. Viewers around the world are curious about other cultures, not sanitized version of them. Filmmakers should not worry too much about changing their stories to suit everyone. Just tell honest stories and use things like subtitles, cultural constants, or creative weight to help people understand without losing the story's true meaning. Let's move to the next element. Building international collaborations. Once we have a strong stories, we need partners to help them fly beyond our borders. First of all, we need to access to larger networks, funding, and global distribution. International collaboration opens doors for Malaysian filmmakers to platforms that were previously out of reach. Streaming giants like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus are constantly looking for diverse content, and they often have the budget to support high-quality production. For example, in the case of Pasargao, this romantic comedy action film became the first Malaysian Netflix original. Through this partnership, the film was given marketing support, global subtitling, and was made available to over 190 countries, something that would not have been possible through traditional local cinemas alone. This global exposure not only introduced Malaysian talent to the world, but also shows investors that Malaysian stories can travel beyond our shores, encouraging more funding and co-production. Not only that, global film festivals can also bring visibility. Getting into international film festivals is a major milestone for any filmmakers. These festivals like Cannes, Sundance, Busan, or Berlin are not just a red carpet events. They are gateways to global reviews, distribution deals, and media exposure. In 2023, Malaysian director Amanda Yu made history when her film Tiger Stripes won the Green Prize at Cannes Critics Week. This was not just a win for her, but a win for a Malaysian cinema. This proved that our stories, when told from our own perspective, are capable of standing tall alongside the best film around the world. International collaboration often help facilitate these opportunities by connecting local filmmakers with global networks, mentors, and production values that meet festival standards. Next, creative control may be compromised. International collaboration can provide funding and global exposure, but it sometimes comes with a price. When foreign producers or investors are involved, they might try to shape the film to better fit international tastes or avoid the sensitive topics. This can affect the filmmaker's original vision in several ways, like first, censorship of sensitive themes. For example, topics like politics, religion, or social issues might be removed so the film doesn't offend certain international markets. Second, changes to storyline or characters. Sometimes directors are asked to tweak the story, character, or dialogues to make them more acceptable or appealing to a global audience. Lastly, loss of cultural authenticity. To make the film more universal, Malaysian culture, language, or values are reduced, and this can make the story feel less real and less interesting. Working with international partners can help our film grow, but it can also cause us to lose what makes our story special. Last but not least, risk of losing cultural identity. Working with international partners can help our film grow, but it can also cause us to lose what makes our story special. Sometimes, to make film easier to understand for global audience, filmmakers remove or change important cultural parts. Here are some ways this can happen. First, cultural is shown only for looks. Traditional clothes, festival or custom are included just to look nice without any real meaning or explanation. Next, everything is in English. If the whole script is changed into English, the local language and unique way Malaysians speak may be lost. Lastly, settings don't match the story. A film may be set in a Malaysian village or town, but the story doesn't show real Malaysian life or values. It could take place in any country. For example, imagine a movie set in a kampung, but all the characters speak perfect English and never talk about local culture or traditionals. Even though it looks Malaysian, it doesn't feel Malaysian. The film loses its heart. So, in conclusion, Malaysian films have the potential to go global, not by copying the world, but by showing the world who we truly are. We don't need to erase our culture to be relevant. We don't need to translate every word to be understood. We just need to tell our stories with honesty, pride, and creativity. Let the world come to know Malaysia, not through imitation, but through imagination, rooted in truth. Because when we tell stories that comes from the heart, the world will listen. That's all from me. Thank you.